just when I think we've reached the edge of one eternity, a new one opens up right before us. And here we go. Edge of Eternities, back in stock? Question mark? Soy face? For now, anyway. So we're going to crack while the cracking is good and see what's happening out there in space. As of the making of this video, we got a big-ass supermoon going on, so I'm going to take that as a good sign. Get you a drone token. Little lander action. We'll land that sucker right there, and we'll start from the front. Grav Pack Monoist. One I have not seen or used very much in this set. Cryo Shatter. One I have not used very much in this set. Weft Blade Enhancer. One I have not seen or used very much in this set. Shattered Wings. One I have not seen or used very much in this set. Caveron Turbo Drone. I don't think I've even seen that one at all. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains haste until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Nice. Grav Kill. Love the art on that. That's my man, Dominic Mayer. Command Bridge. As I said on the last one, I'm excited to see how this interplays with Star Trek next year. Ooh, this is new. Blade of the Swarm. The Emidians sought the secret of Weft walking in Drick's DNA. Though they failed, their attempts yielded other gains. When this insect assassin creature enters, choose one. Put 2+1s on this creature or put target exile card with warp on the bottom of its owner's library. Yikes, I like that. Damn, man, these are all new to me. Pull through the Weft. Return up to 2 target non-land permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand, and then return up to 2 target land cards from your graveyard to the bout. Dude. Yeah, that's radical. That's a great card. Hey, Sammy, Ship's Engineer. Yep, there we go. I think I did pull one of those before. So there's that. Starfield Shepherd. You Gotta Dig. Martinael's art on that. I think angels are kind of... Well, I won't. I'll just keep that to myself. But I like that one. That art is radical. And a rare, mythic rare we have seen before, Weft Walkin. When this enchantment enters, if you cast it, shuffle your hand and graveyard into your library and draw 7 cards. First spell each player casts during each of their turns may be cast without paying its mana cost. Could go both ways. In a foil, common, Gene Pollinator. Oh, and a gorgeous full art forest. I like it, man. Well, so far, a pack full of new stuff. You know how I feel about that. See what's going on in pack number 2. Ship number 2, Human Soldier Lander token. So land that guy right there. Ooh, okay. Cryo Shatter. We're making up for Weft Blade Enhancer. We're making up for a lot of lost time here. I can't believe that's a 6-drop. What does this thing do? Enters, put a +1/+1 counter each of up to 2. Oh, and you can warp it for 3. And he's a 3/4. Not bad. A little tough to get rid of. Shattered Wings. Hey, Caveron Trip. We're just missing the Grav Pack Monoist, and this is the same pack, right? Okay. There we go. Mech and Shieldmate. Defender. 3/2. As long as an artifact entered the battlefield under your control this turn, this creature can attack, as though it didn't have Defender. Cool. Meltstrider's Gear. I like that one. Depressurize. One of my favorites as far as the artwork in this set. It just feels so old school Magic, dude. And a Glacier Godmaw that I would be more into if it didn't have... Oh, man, that worried me for a second. Some kind of schmutz on there. I thought the card was ripped. A Biomechan Engineer. I don't think there's a lot of Simic in this set. There wasn't... Was there any Simic in Spider-Man? I can't remember. Dual Sun Technique. Man, these things have just got all kinds of chalk or something on them. At least it's coming off. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Our second Ouroboros. One of these days I'd like to pull a foil, but man, one in the pre-release, and here we are months later, and we got another one. And you know what they aren't? Legendary. So you just jam them into every deck you can. Ooh, a gorgeously foiled Fungal Colossus. Bad boy is a 7-drop fungus beast who costs X less to cast, where X is the number of differently named lands you control. That could be a lot of fun with all those different planet lands, like strip mine and all the cool stuff. I don't know all of them. Man, that's a really cool basic forest. I really like the lands in this set. Well, let's pull the Orville right out. Stick him on the top. That's awesome. A mythic rare, dude. Plant worm. Let's go ahead and pull. Even though I think the Starfield is a little bit cooler artwork. Actually, Gravkill is probably the best artwork in that one. Stick our big wins on top. Haven't seen a whole lot of showcases out of this set and what I've pulled. But here we go. We got a Peregrine Beckoner. Just a straight up horror. Cryogen Relic. Squire's Lightblade. This is much more familiar. Gene Pollinator. Bombard. 4 damage. Straight up. Ooh, Dark Endurance. 1 less to cast if it targets the blocking creature. Gets +2/+0 and gains Indestructible. 1 last chance. Make it count. Oh yeah, I've heard that before. Galactic Wayfarer. Temporal Intervention. Got the whole crew there. Ooh, a Remnant Elemental. Now this is a new one for me. So he's a 2/04 with reach, and whenever a land you control enters, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. That's gnarly. Stick that in a little Gruul deck and keep your back covered. What is that? Dubious Delicacy. It's an acquired taste, it says. Flash. Food. When this artifact enters, up to 1 target creature gets -3/-3. You can sacrifice it and gain 2 life, and you can also make the opponent lose 3 life. It's an acquired taste. That's cool. Sorry, didn't mean to bump the key. Oh, there we go, man. Servandum the Lucent. So I am retooling it now, but I started it because on Arena there was a midweek Magic where it was building a commander deck with, you had to use an Edge of Eternity's card as commander. And I'd been messing with the lifelink stuff because of that lifelink mill deck. So I was like, you know what? Let's make this guy the commander. And let's just throw the rest of it was mostly Final Fantasy. Aerith, Zac, Cloud, Squall, Rufus Shinra, Judge Magister Galbraith, and just every crazy little cheap lifelink thing I could find. Minwu, Adalbert Steiner, crazy lifelink thing. And like many things, it either pops off or it don't. But this guy was the centerpiece of it all, and he's super expensive, so somebody knocked him out. It was kind of a good deck because once he was gone, it wasn't like the game was over because it was going to be a while before he came back. But, you know, he could keep you competitive, and then if somebody got rid of him, exiled him, whatever, you know, you still had a chance to go through and make some noise on Brawl. I don't think it would work as well in regular Commander, but it was fun. So soft spot in my heart for that guy. Whoa, that's new to me, I'm pretty sure. The Extinguisher Battleship, that's gorgeous. 8-drop. When this spacecraft enters, destroy target non-creature permanent. Then this spacecraft deals 4 damage to each creature. Ooh, okay. So that's a last gasp from a desperate man. I don't care if it's the first act of Henry V. Flying Trample, 10/10, when it gets crewed at 5. It's a dicey bargain. That's a really cool card. And our beautiful foil is an All Fates Stalker, Drix Assassin. Not familiar with this one. When this creature enters, exile up to 1 target non-assassin creature until this creature leaves the battlefield. Oh, and you can warp him in for just 2. You again? And a Nebulous Swamp. And a really cool Red Lander token. What is that guy? Robot? Let's put him there. Yeah, I mean, we got to do the Extinguisher Battleship on the top. That's one of the coolest things I've seen. Here we are, down to the last pack. These were birthday gifts from my family, and I appreciate it very much, family. Thank you. You guys know me well. Oh, spoiled the foil. Spoiled the foil. Newlander Human Soldier token. Ilvoy Galeblade. Jellyfish Warrior. Not bad for a 1. 1/1 flash and flying. Night Luminary. Blooming Stinger. Death Touch Bastard. Frontline War Ravager. Yeah. Insatiable Skitama. It's kind of my crawl from the cellar for Edge of Eternities. Another Command Bridge. There we go. Zookeeper Mechan. Is it a robot? Oh, that's the robot. Okay. Now we're talking, dude. That's new. A Galvanizing Saw Ship. Artifact, spacecraft, station. We station 3. Flying and haste. 6.5. Wow. I mean, it does cost 6 to get it out, but you can really wreck some shit with that. That's awesome too. That's some Warhammer shit, by the way. That looks like an orc. Ooh, we got something good back there. Let's slow our roll. Uthro Psionist, jellyfish scientist. The second spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. I'm not gonna read that. Monoist circuit feeder. It does to the ships what the monoist faith does to the stars. Why not? Let's delay the inevitable a little longer. Log entry cycle 33507. Tenuous perception of psionic activity emanating from Uthros's core. Nature non-linguistic fragmentary. Content isolation apoplexy. It wants free. Uthros combined research notes. I do love the artwork on that thing. It's gruesome. Oh, wow, man. Look at that breeding pool. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of art. Constantine Marin, well done. I think I got this one already, didn't I? I think it wasn't the first, like, dual land I pulled, but it was the first one I think I pulled out of just a straight pack. God, that's great, man. Speaking of Simic. Okay, let's see what we got. It must be a cool planet land of some kind, because I saw a weird border. Oh, it's another rare. It's what is that? Elegy Acolyte. Oh, I love that artwork, man. Look at that. Is that borderless? Justin and Alexis Hernandez. Lifelink. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you draw a card and lose 1 life. At the beginning of your end step, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature. Wow. Man, that is cool. I was not familiar with that one. I like that a lot. Or I guess I wasn't familiar with the artwork. The name does kind of sound, the description sounds familiar. The name didn't catch me at all. And foil common drill too deep, but it looks good with that little slash of light in there. Wow, but that's that and a breeding pool. That's a really good, that's a sweet pack, man. When you get two, you get a dual land, which is always nice, but it's gorgeous. And then you get a rare creature and, an artwork without a border on it that you don't always get to see. I certainly haven't seen a lot of them in this one. It's hard to choose which one of those is better, so we just won't choose them. We'll just have them both. Edge of Eternities, man. A surprise to a lot of us, I think. Not necessarily that it was good, just that it was going to be as good as it was. After the Final Fantasy hype, which has led us to this crazed thing that we're in right now, and all the feelings, we'll just call them that, floating around about universes beyond and magic and product and whatnot. I'm Edge of Eternities, I think, is the most solid thing they did this year. And I don't dislike Tarkir. This, to me, just feels so much more, even though I had trouble learning the Void stuff and effectively using Warp at first, I just feel like this is so much more accessible than Tarkir, especially to newcomers. But this is just more fun, I think. That's just my opinion. I'm not throwing shade on Tarkir. I like this. I like the setting, the plane, if you will, and the clans and all that. And the dragons obviously are badass. That's true Magic. But this was something new and different, and it just kind of proved to me that Magic doesn't need to rely solely on Universes Beyond to sell out. But they're going to keep doing it, man. It just makes sense. They make so much more money off that stuff. And yeah, what were we saying here months ago? Wouldn't it be cool if they did The Hobbit? And here they are doing The Hobbit. Never in my wildest dreams thought they'd do Star Trek. And they're doing it in enough time to where it's going to sync up with this stuff. I'm excited. It's going to be a good time. Thank you all for joining me, and until next time, peace.